Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, a big lawsuit has been filed against singer Lizzo. A look at the allegations being made by her former dancers.
Plus, Taylor Swift and Harry Styles are using their platforms to help people, their latest efforts to positively change lives.
Then we're chatting with author Aiden Key about his new book, Trans Children in Today's Schools, how he's advocating for the nation's first gender inclusion policy in K-12 sports.
And we're getting a sneak peek of the national touring production of 1776 the Musical. We're introducing you to some of the diverse cast. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Hello, thank you for being here with us today. I'm Mireya Garcia.
And I'm Carly Henderson. All right, you want to get right into these entertainment stories?
I think so.
Okay. Lizzo's facing a lawsuit with 3 former dancers accusing her of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment during her special tour this year. So Lizzo's dance company and the tour's dance captain are also being sued. And among multiple things, the suit claims that Lizzo pressured dancers to engage with the nude performers at a club in Amsterdam. It also alleges that Lizzo body shamed people and either they were fired or they resigned for gaining weight. No word yet on how much the dancers are seeking in damages, and also no public response from Lizzo yet. I know I was refreshing her Instagram stories and everything to see if she had anything to say. Plot twist of the summer, this happening with Lizzo.
Yeah, I gotta say, did not have this one on my bingo card. I presume there will be no statement unless it comes from her attorneys at this point now that legal documents have been filed. But certainly, I think my sense from what I've seen on social media is that people are feeling extremely disappointed at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I also think it kind of like brings up the question of, you know, hanging out with your coworkers outside of work. What are those lines that are drawn there? Because, you know, it sounds like they had, I mean, they're alleged a lot of different things, but they had this wild night out in Amsterdam. And maybe in retrospect it felt different, or maybe they did feel uncomfortable, whatever. There's certainly a power dynamic between, you know, a superstar and their dancers, but it's a lot of lines being blurred there. So a lot of it we can't get into the details of what was happening, but you can certainly read about it. Not safe for TV here right now, but I think that Ariana Grande is probably pretty happy that this is taking the attention off of her dating a married man with a newborn baby, no?
I know. But thank you for reminding the world.
I'm here to help you out. Love them both. Hope that this isn't true, but
yeah, but it's hard to say.
Yeah,
it's hard to say, and I think we'll have to wait to let it play out in court and see what is the truth.
Yeah.
And on to other sad news here. Beyonce honoring a dancer who was killed over the weekend while voguing to her music. So voguing, by the way, a type of dance that was has its roots in Harlem with the Black and Latino LGBTQ+ communities, and Beyonce posting a full tribute to O'Shea Sibley, who was dancing in New York when he was attacked. Police say that Sibley and his friends were confronted by a group of men who were shouting anti-gay slurs at them. A fight broke out, and that is when Sibley was killed. Now there are some hate crime allegations, and an investigation is underway at this point. And you really hate to see that. You think that stuff is behind us, but clearly it is not.
I know, and in Brooklyn of all places too, which is such an open, accepting place. So that absolutely breaks my heart. Ugh. All right, on to our next story. Taylor Swift not only having a major impact on the cities that she performs in, she's also having a big impact on the truckers that are hauling her gear. So according to TMZ, Taylor gave $100,000 bonus checks to each of the big rig drivers that are helping her with the tour, which is about 50 of them. Other team members, including dancers, lighting and sound techs, and caterers, were also given bonuses. It's estimated that she's given out $55 million in bonuses so far. That is a lot. That is awesome. The U.S. part of her concert lineup is set to wrap up next week.
Wow,
That's really cool.
So you covered this earlier today on Good Day Seattle, and I had to look into it a little more, and it really is nice to see that she really cares about her employees, essentially, right?
Definitely. And I mean, she is making a lot of money. So she makes like $13 million is the latest number that's been reported. Originally, we thought it was less per night on Eras Tour, but $13 million a night. So I imagine these people really feel that, appreciated now. And I'm glad that Taylor's really spreading the love. Truckers for Taylor.
Absolutely. And this money, I mean, I'm sure that everyone at home knows this, but it has to be mentioned. It is a life-changing amount of money for just, your average person. And I know I saw on social media, and we've seen reports that some of the truckers that were texting their kids saying, I can pay for your college. And this is something that is so beautiful and life-changing. But for Taylor, it's something that can be made up quickly, as you mentioned.
Yeah, definitely. I still haven't wrapped my head around Eras Tour being over and like not getting to do that all the time.
I know.
I'm definitely looking at her tour and those international dates. I'm like, where do I want to go? Because I feel like I really want to go see it again.
To feel that again, right?
Yeah.
It was so amazing.
So fun.
And Harry Styles also wrapping up his world tour last week, and we're learning more about how successful it was. In all, he played 173 dates to an audience of more than 5 million. Wow. During the tour, he raised more than $6.5 million, donating to organizations like Planned Parenthood, the World Wildlife Federation, and the International Rescue Committee, which helps refugees around the world. So again, we're seeing a superstar that is saying, I also want to do some good around the world.
Harry Styles and Taylor Swift saving the world. This has to be such a fulfilling way to end a tour. A very, very long tour, too, might we add. He's been on tour, it feels like 2 years.
I think it was.
Point, right?
Whew.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And it has to feel really good, too, knowing that, like, not only did you make your fans super happy, like, best day ever when they get to go see you, but you're helping the world become a better place. So I love that Harry did this.
Absolutely. Your guy's doing good things.
He's doing good things, my boy Harry Styles. Other people doing good things. Actor Seth MacFarlane donated $1 million to the Entertainment Community Fund in order to help workers impacted by the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes. So he joins a growing list of industry professionals donating and helping people on strike. This fund has raised more than $6 million since May 1st, the day before the Writers Guild went on strike, and it helps the 1,500 people impacted cover, basic living expenses. This fund says it's distributing about $400,000 to $500,000 per week, and this is really a lifeline for these people. I think I read only 13% of people make above the poverty line as actors, to qualify for health insurance and things like that. So we've seen The Rock be generous and other actors kind of help this cause. So I think it's really great when someone who's in, more of a position of power, has more wealth, can, share it and help people keep going and not give up on their dream yet while still fighting for, to be treated fairly and, compensated fairly.
Yeah, and I think it really is a testament to the financial diversity, if you will, of the industry, because we just obviously talked about some major stories regarding these very wealthy, influential people in the entertainment industry, giving back to the community at large. But then you have people in the same exact industry who can't afford dinner, right? Who have other jobs to try and get by. So I think that's just something really important to keep in mind when we are talking about the fight for better pay.
Yeah, not just Jennifer Lawrence and all these huge actors. It's people who are sharing apartments and, doing what they can to keep going.
Absolutely. Hey, the newest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Mutant Mayhem, ooh, that's fun to say, has officially hit theaters today. The animated film was produced and co-written by comedian Seth Rogen. Seth also joining the voice cast, along with John Cena, Jackie Chan, Paul Rudd, Maya Rudolph. Oh my goodness. Critics loving this so far, giving it a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Paramount already planning a sequel and a TV series, of course, to spin it off for Paramount Plus. You know what, Carly? I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like this year has really been stellar for movies in terms of like good content that is received well.
Yeah, definitely. And this was received so well. I mean, 95% on Rotten Tomatoes was so good. Wow. I was looking at the ratings of all the Ninja Turtle movies because I was thinking, don't these normally like kind of get bad ratings? It's all across the board. So there's everything from like 19% for, and those were for some of the Ninja Turtle movies in the 90s, which I feel like
were popular.
Our generation, people loved
We
there.
liked
It's kind
them.
of crazy. But the one from 2019 got a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think that one was received as well. I don't know. My boyfriend goes and sees them all, so I'm going to have to ask him what his final score is on
Good
this.
idea.
But really all across the board there. Get this. If you ever wanted to own, a big piece of entertainment history, now might be your chance. Tony Soprano's yacht is up for grabs. The 1999 Cape Fear 47 Sportfish, look at that, was used in multiple episodes of The Sopranos. Right now, it is currently floating around in Connecticut, but it can be yours to take home for $299,000. This kind of seems like a deal. I think a lot of the yachts are about $1 million.
Oh, well, girl, I wouldn't know. I would not know about that. But I love the idea that it's just kind of floating around waiting for its new owner to come on by.
Will you adopt me? It's a rescue yacht.
It's a rescue yacht. Yep, it's a rescue yacht.
You gotta go rescue it.
I love it.
Have you had a chance to go out on a boat on Lake Union or anywhere around
I
here
have
yet?
not, but it's because I get so easily motion sick.
Oh, really?
So easily. So I've definitely done like a lot of like kayaking, and I've done some
nice.
paddle boarding.
Yeah.
But that's usually it for me. What about you?
Yeah, so a friend of a friend, I guess you could say, has an electric pontoon that they took us out in, and it was so much fun. We didn't have that much time that day. We only had like 2 hours, and so we were kind of in a rush and trying to enjoy it as much as we could. But any way you can get out on the water around here is just absolutely magical.
What they say, you don't want to own a boat. You want to have a friend or friend of a friend who
That is
owns
the
a boat.
key.
That's the key. All right. Coming up on Studio 13 Live, we're chatting with author Aiden Key about his new book, how he's helping schools become more gender inclusive around the country.
Yes, but first, the infamous mic that Cardi B threw at an audience member, it's now up for auction, and we are checking in with TMZ on what the proceeds will be benefiting right after the break.
It is time to take a look at what is popping in celebrity news.
For that, we are bringing in Fabian Garcia from TMZ. Hey, Fabian.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to see you. So, Lizzo, we've been talking about it all morning long. She's facing a huge lawsuit, and I hear that, some celebrities are actually backing away from their involvement with her. Beyonce left her name out of the lyrics of her song Break My Soul during her tour. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, so it's unclear if Beyonce did this to spite Lizzo or if it was done to address another kind of controversy and feud that Beyonce is involved in right now between her and Erykah Badu. So she was performing last night in Boston. This is the remix to Break My Soul. And in the remix of that song, Lizzo is written into the lyrics. In verse 3, there's a section where Beyonce is like listing a bunch of like trailblazing women. Lizzo is included in that list. And last night when Beyonce got to that part of the song, as she was performing it live, she nixed Lizzo's name completely and instead repeated Erykah Badu's name 4 different times. And by the way, Erykah Badu is also written into that song, the remix or whatever. So the reason why people are kind of confused as to whether it's a shot at Lizzo or if it's to address Erykah Badu is because both things are happening at the exact same time. The Lizzo lawsuit happened yesterday. Big news, obviously. Presumably, Beyonce might have been aware of it, might have been privy to it. Maybe she's weighing in on it by excluding Lizzo. Or it could be the Erykah Badu thing because over the weekend, Erykah Badu publicly on Instagram called out Beyonce for like ripping off her style because she's worn like these wide brim hats and whatever. And Erykah Badu is like, oh, I guess I'm everybody's stylist. So it's unclear which one Beyonce is actually addressing. I suspect it's more so the Badu thing and that the Lizzo thing is just a coincidence and it kind of happened to come at the expense of Lizzo at that exact time. But that's just my theory. A lot of people think maybe it is in fact a shot at Lizzo.
Interesting. Okay. And
Yeah.
there is more drama all over the entertainment industry, it seems, because we saw Cardi B throw that mic at an audience member after getting hit with a drink during a Vegas show. But now that infamous mic actually up for sale. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so I guess this is like a silver lining for the story. It's kind of an ugly incident, and obviously Cardi B's at the center of a battery investigation for them, so maybe she'll have to answer for that legally. We'll see. But the guy who runs the audio production company that was handling that show of hers in Vegas over the weekend, he has the mic. He owns the gear, obviously, so they recovered the microphone that she threw. He has it, listed it on eBay, and it's actually fetching, as of now, it's fetching a hell of a lot of money. The current bid, or the highest current bid, is $85,000.
Oh, okay.
But the good news is he's not going to be collecting that money for himself. It's not just for profit. He wants to donate this cash to a couple different charities. There's a local one there called I think it's called Friendship Circle, and it benefits teens and young adults with special needs. And the other one is the Wounded Warrior Project, which is for veterans. So that money will go to both of those charities. So kind of a positive note, considering again how ugly it was. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Cardi on the legal front.
We live in a wild world. How much do you think this microphone is going to go for if you had to guess?
I don't know.
I'm
I
guessing
mean,
at least 200, right?
Considering it's already at 85, it'll easily reach 100 soon, I believe. I don't know when the deadline is for when the bidding stops, but it could maybe hit 200 or maybe in that ballpark probably.
Yeah,
Interesting.
wild. Fabian Garcia, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll talk to you soon.
Sure, thanks for having me, you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, don't forget you can catch TMZ right here on Fox 13 weekdays at 7 p.m.
And still to come on Studio 13 Live, drawing for could be your next career. Oh, okay.
Uno.
Yeah. Oh, Uno. You can become the next professional Uno player.
I'm signing up for that job. And next, we're going to be sitting down with author and educator Aiden Key, all about his new book, Trans Children in Today's Schools. We'll be right back.
With an increasing presence of transgender students, author Aiden Key recently published his book, Trans Children in Today's Schools, to help provide guidance to families and to schools on becoming more gender inclusive.
Yeah, he also tours the country, speaking at colleges and conferences to help educate and advocate for gender equality. And here to share all about his work and his new book, Aiden Key. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good to be here. It's an important topic.
It is.
Definitely is. A lot of information in this book, even just beyond, the trans children's school experiences. So kind of break it down for us. What are some of the key takeaways in your book?
I guess the thing that comes to mind first and foremost is that it is primarily an adult journey for us as adults to navigate the complexity, the misinformation, the disinformation, the distress, and the confusion. The kids are busy knowing how to do it. They can step in, they know their peers, and are accepting of their experiences, their identities. So we as adults have to step up a bit.
Excellent. So obviously adults really need to take a step forward here, but what would you say are some of the biggest hurdles when it comes to gender inclusivity in schools?
Absolutely, number one is the misperception that talking about gender identity is discussing sexuality. That is the primary topic that I have to dig into when I'm doing work with those educators and pulling those apart and saying, we can talk about gender identity with children of any age. And yes, sexuality, that comes later. We can address those topics when we do. So that is one of the biggest pieces.
Yeah, and we're seeing so many legislative bills seeking to deny the support and inclusion of trans youth. So what is going on and what can we all do to help?
Yeah. There's a lack of information out there. The visible presence of trans children is newer, and how to include them, how to address their needs, what to do is all pretty new in the last decade or two, and their presence is becoming more and more visible. So figuring out how to do that inclusion is actually not that complicated, but we do need a little assistance. Legislatively, however, I think that there's people taking advantage of that, of the place that we're in to stoke fear and essentially wanting to motivate a political base. That's my opinion. That's what I think is going on. What I do love about it's not the right way to say it, because these conversations are being elevated, it means that we can dig in. These legislative bills are inspiring conversation, and what I've seen over and over, regardless of conservative environments or more liberal environments, everyone has the same questions. So if we can step into those, we're on our way.
And I think it's very interesting that I think people get really tense around the idea of asking questions, but you're saying let's get it out there, right?
Yeah. Put it on the table.
And I think with your work, you're doing some fabulous things for the community. I mean, you have worked with the Washington State Activities Association to create its first gender inclusion policy in K-12 sports. So talk to me about the steps you took there.
Well, it's been a over 15-year journey with them. we sat down and said, how do we do this? What can we do? And we had extensive conversations. There were a lot of people at the table. And we just said, well, we have to honor their gender identity. So let's let them play. And 15 years of progression and experience, it's going ridiculously well. Absolutely. These kids are participating on their teams. There's roughly, 80 transgender students in the state of Washington, transgender students who are participating. And 80 out of 200,000 student athletes, we're talking the concerns address about 2 in every 10,000 kids. So we're worried about things that we really don't need to worry about. Those 2 children engaging in sports are winning and they're losing. They're being embraced by their peers, by their teammates. They're navigating the spaces that people are concerned about, like locker rooms and so forth. They're navigating it really well.
Yeah.
So again, I feel like we have a lot to learn from the kids.
Yeah, and you are doing some great work here. Thank you so much for joining us, Aiden. This was amazing. Great conversation to have with you. We posted more info on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio13Live.
Still ahead on Studio 13 Live, the national tour of 1776 the musical, stopping in Seattle this week, how they are reflecting our diverse country with its non-traditional casting.
But next, pull a reverse on your career, how you could become a professional Uno player and make some good money doing just that. So a YouTuber in Japan is trending for spending a lot of money to transform into a dog. Okay. Oh, look at that. I hadn't actually seen this. The man shelled out nearly $16,000 for this custom-made border collie costume. What? This is video of his first walk interacting with humans and dogs. He goes by the name Toko, and apparently his family, friends, and coworkers had no idea that he pretends to be a dog in his free time. Carly, you'd seen this and were like, just wait. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
That's a large dog, but also a small human to fit into that dog suit. And how is he seeing? Because clearly he's not using the dog eyes. Like, those are fake dog eyes in there. So many questions. But I mean, everyone needs a hobby, right?
You're just such an understanding woman.
I mean, I want to meet this dog/person. Did you see the other dogs meeting him too?
Yeah, they were probably like,
him
what is this?
Yeah, you don't smell like a dog. What's going on here? I would love to come across something like that. I would just love it. All right. There's an opportunity for you to pull a reverse Uno in your career if you want. So Mattel is looking to fill the position of professional Uno player.
Oh.
Whoever fills the position is going to be responsible for explaining new variations of the game to people. Mattel is not playing around, though, because this gig pays a fitting $4,444.44 per week. I think they did that on purpose.
Okay.
If you're looking to apply, you can send your submission video on Mattel's website. Look, I thought I had a dream job. This job looks
This is pretty
amazing.
good.
How fun would that be?
It would be so fun, but man, I haven't played Uno in a while because I'd get mean when I was playing with my family,
really?
you know? Yeah.
I love Uno.
Yeah, I know. It's really fun.
What game would you want to be like the spokesperson or influencer for?
Oh my gosh. Shoots and ladders. Keep it simple.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
that
cute.
sweet? I love that game.
You know what I was going to say, like Ticket to Ride or SkyJo.
Oh,
but
sure.
But you make me want to say Candyland because that was
That's
my favorite
also a
game
fun
as a kid.
one.
Wouldn't that be fun?
All right. Well, a new survey from dating.com is shedding some light on the impact social media has on relationships. So let's take a look at these numbers. About half of people say their relationships began because one of them slid into the other's DMs. 58% of people have used social networking sites like Instagram or even LinkedIn, oh boy, to find and meet new partners. 40% say their current significant other's social media profile is an ick. Uh-oh. 72% say that social media has been the cause of a fight in a current or a previous relationship. The only thing that annoys me is the LinkedIn to get a date.
I was shocked when you said that. That is so weird because you think it's professional networking.
Right.
And then people are like, hi, will you go out
That's
with
the
me?
voice I hear in my head too.
If you're picking people up on LinkedIn, come on, that's just weird. That's just weird. I mean, social media was definitely part of my relationship with my partner. We met in real life, and I knew he was interested in me. And then when I was single, I sent him a Facebook message, and I said, and we had messaged
So
a little
you
bit
slid
before.
into the
I guess I did.
Oh, I love
I guess I
it.
was like, hey, you want to hang out? And then we did, and the rest is history,
Here
right?
you are. Man, I just, that is all so foreign to me. So props to all the modern romances out there.
Yeah.
You know, today is my 15-year wedding anniversary.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But
15
that,
years.
you know, well before, well, I guess it was right at the beginning of Facebook.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. The good old day, the good old fashioned way.
Yes, that's
you know,
true.
In real life, it is so much easier to like send a message or even just follow someone to kind of
Yeah.
show that you're interested rather than asking for a number. That has to be really scary.
Yeah, in person.
You know, going up to a person and asking their phone number. Whoa. All right. Well, if it goes well, you might be feeling the love, but how soon should you drop the L word in a new relationship? So a new survey says there's not a magic number for when you should first say I love you, which is good. I don't think there should be a rule for this really, but half of people ask to say wait at least 3 months. So women have no problem dropping the L word between about a month and 3 months. With that being said though, men are twice as likely to say I love you after just 1 week.
1 week.
That's too fast.
Okay.
That's too fast.
So I was doing a Peloton ride the other day. I was taking Cody Rigsby's class, and he said something that I was like, this is the smartest thing I've ever heard.
What?
Let's normalize saying like. Just say you like somebody before you say you love them. You can say you like someone, and that really means something, instead of dropping a big old love in week 1 of a relationship.
See, I feel like what comes before saying I love you though, you got to feel it out a little bit. You got to go, I think I'm falling in love with you, or I could see myself falling in love with you. That's the kind of like, it's going to happen soon thing. Like maybe you do already feel it, but you're like
testing the
feeling it
waters.
out and making sure that there's not like a horrible reaction or something to it. But I mean, I feel like the times I've been in love, it's all happened like I would say by month like 4.
Yeah.
You know, spending a lot of time with that person. I guess it depends how often you hang out. But I feel like if by month like 6, 7, 8, you're not feeling it, is it going to happen?
Some choices
It seems like
might
a really
need to
long
be
time,
made.
don't you think?
I agree 100%. But here's my thing. Even though I got married very young,
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people get married too fast. You can say you love somebody, but I don't know. I think that you gotta just like have a big old fight first before you before you like really lock it down and make it all paperwork legal if you want to do that. You know?
1000%.
Yeah.
Definitely need to fight. I think you need to travel with that person. You got to see them in so many different situations. You got to hang out with their friends. They got to hang out with your friends. You got to see what it's like hanging with their family, spend a holiday with their family.
yes.
So much you have to go through the good and the bad just to know how you can recover. Because
Yeah.
every relationship, you know, you can't get married when you're in that honeymoon phase. You got to
That's
go
right.
go through it all and see how you can, keep going, because that's life.
Absolutely. Life advice from Studio 13
Wow.
Live. I'm here for it.
Here we go.
Hey, so people are eating dinner earlier than ever. We know a little something about that.
Yes, we do.
So according to Yelp, the number of people who eat dinner between 2 and 5 p.m. has actually grown by 5%. And customers say eating early gives them a little more flexibility for their after dinner time. Restaurants say that they are seating more people earlier than in prior years. So the question is, for people who have like normal lives, Carly, when would you say is a good time to eat dinner?
I would say like 4:30 p.m.
If you have like you're still at work. If you have a normal life.
Well, yeah, you could eat it at work, and then you've digested it. Then you
Okay.
can go home and you have the energy to like hang out and do whatever you want. And you don't have to weigh yourself down. There's nothing that impacts my sleep more than like eating a big meal right before I try
yeah.
to go to bed.
Yeah.
And I would say within like 3-4 hours. You
Yeah.
got to give yourself time to digest. What do you think?
I agree. But I'll tell you, I think there's a cultural aspect here, because when I lived in Mexico, when I grew up on the border in Texas, we were having dinner at 9 p.m. and going
So
to
late.
sleep at like 11 or midnight. But that's like very culturally appropriate there, like that's just very normal. And the further away I moved from the border and my community there, and then of course life gets in the way, like the job is different hours. Now I have dinner at 4, 5
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
Me too. And it feels great.
Yeah, it does. It does. All right.
Embrace your early dinner time. And you'll probably get some deals too, especially if
little
you're going
money.
on the early end there.
Yeah, you
Get a little early bird special.
That's right. So if you were interviewing somebody for a job, okay, I know you're excited about the story, Carly. You should avoid the oddball question. That's the question, because it can really turn good people away, apparently. So Louisiana State University found that even though oddball questions are 30% more likable, they're also 20% less useful. The concern is people who aren't super social or up to date with current events could feel uncomfortable, and vice versa. You know, a skilled candidate could be marked off by a company because they're not really matching the company's work culture. So what is the most oddball question you've ever been asked?
Oh, that I've ever been asked? I don't know, but the one that always comes to mind is the Demi Lovato question. What's your favorite dish? And she says, probably a mug, because it sits in my hand and feels nice and warm or whatever. I would love to ask somebody that question and have them respond. Or maybe they give the food and they don't know pop culture, but I think it would tell a lot. Look, you can tell so much about people from looking at their LinkedIn profile or their resume, but I feel like you gotta have fun with the interview questions, because it's kind of a personality, you know, feel too. You gotta make sure culturally you fit in.
You know what I think that says, though? That said something about the person asking the question, whether you're in a professional interviewer like we are, or whether you're doing it at an office job. Maybe you need to sharpen your communication skills.
Maybe. I also know someone who interviewed candidates at his company, and he would take a glass of water and he'd give one to the person, and then he'd put his own on the edge of the table and position it so that it looked like it was about to fall off, to try to just like get the vibe for the person, to see if they would, you know, stop them, or what. It was like kind of a move.
Oh, but what was the goal? Just
I don't know.
Stress the situation?
Maybe power.
Power.
I don't know.
We do love power.
Everybody does. Coming up soon on Studio 13 Live, pizza lovers. We also love pizza. It's your time to shine. We're telling you how you can become the ultimate pizza influencer.
But first, we're sitting down with the national touring cast of 1776 the musical, performing at Fifth Avenue Theater this week. A sneak peek at their show's production and diverse casting. Stay with us.
The national tour of 1776 the musical is performing in Seattle starting today through August 6th at Fifth Avenue Theater. And the show has been cast in a way that has never been done before, you know, reflecting the diverse representations of race, ethnicity, and gender of our country.
Such an exciting performance. I cannot wait. And today we are actually joined by members of the touring cast, Nancy Anderson and Liz Michael. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, we are so happy you're here. And I do love beautiful performances, you know, so I'm just so honored that you're here today. Tell us about the show and what makes the production different than others.
Well, this production is not your traditional casting. We feature all walks of life, all ethnicities. We are female identifying, non-binary, non-gender conforming, and trans actors on stage telling the story.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so the casting itself, you know, shares a great message. Kind of talk to us about why the show is so important, especially right now.
Well, we are, as everyone knows, we are a bit of a nation divided, and this show of 1776, which is about the circumstances surrounding the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it helps us remember what our country was built on, and it reminds us that these foundational documents of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution are living documents, and we have to, my character, Thomas Jefferson, believed they needed to be revised and they needed to be rethought with every single generation in order to fit the needs of that era. And so it's important for us to understand that we have to participate in order to keep this country, this experiment running.
Lovely. So you guys have been touring, you all have been touring. Talk to me about what your favorite things about performing are. I imagine every show can be a little different.
every show is completely different. And one thing that Nancy and I can celebrate is that we've also been a part of the Broadway cast as well. I played a different character on Broadway.
As
played,
did I.
Yeah, we both did.
We both
didn't we?
did.
Yeah. So I came from playing John Hancock on Broadway to playing Benjamin Franklin on the tour. So we've seen a lot. We've gotten to meet 2 Supreme Court justices since we've been doing this. Yes, Justice Brown Jackson and
Justice Sotomayor.
Sotomayor, and we were invited to the Supreme Court.
Oh my
to
goodness.
sit. Yes.
What was that
yes.
experience like?
Incredible.
It was
And
really exciting.
and the National Archives, so we actually got to go in and look at the actual documents. And the audacity of us as these actors in these bodies telling this story has been remarkable. So that's been exciting. And then people across the nation have just been open and receptive to hearing and experiencing the creation of this country told by Americans, and it's landed on them, and they have just been welcoming. So we're excited to be in Seattle doing it.
What a cool way to get to prepare for your roles. Is there anything, like what kind of reaction did the Supreme Court justices have for you and your characters and all
Justice
that?
Sotomayor went bananas.
Okay.
She said, "This is my kind of show. These are my kind of people."
And come to the Supreme
Yeah.
Court. You all have to come.
Yes.
And yeah.
You should have seen her assistants' faces when she said, "Oh, and you can come up and see the hallway near my office where I have all the memorabilia," because we had given her a poster, a signed poster. And so they all had to figure out how to securely get 40 people.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it
So the
was a
entire
really-
cast went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Another exciting thing was Senator Warren came when we performed in
That's right, in
Boston,
Boston.
and told us, you are making people feel. And that is what changes people in America, is the feeling.
That's right.
Great endorsements.
Absolutely. Wow, what a story.
Pretty powerful.
So, as performers, do you each have a favorite scene that you like to do?
Well, we both love to, the song that we share together with John Adams, played by Gisela Adisa, is The Egg. And in fact, we are accompanied by the entire ensemble who are just behind the set singing this gorgeous choral thing, and I'm playing a big old rock violin.
Exceptional violinist.
Thank you. And behind us is an incredible montage of video from all of the events of the United States, all of the controversial and exciting and interesting and heartwarming events that have happened in sort of rapid succession in this big video montage behind us. So it's an incredible celebration of patriotism and of just understanding what we've all been through and what we need to do to move forward.
And right before that happens in the show, there's another moment in the show that is one of my favorite moments, because I'm a mother and a grandmother.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a time for us to really feel the importance of what it means to be a person in this country and give your life for this country. And it's called Mama Look Sharp. And it's sung by an incredible artist, Brooke Simpson, and it's very moving. And right out of that, we do The Egg. So it's really gripping.
The music was reimagined by our arranger, our orchestrator, John Clancy, and so he uses a lot of quotes and a lot of vibe from R&B, from sort of American rock music of the different decades, and so it has a real beautiful update.
That's so cool. Listen, Nancy, thank you so much. And congratulations. What a cool journey you've been on. You can catch 1776 the musical today through August 6th. We've posted more info up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
You know, I have the tingles just from their story.
Me too.
So I cannot imagine the performance.
Yeah.
Oh, so fun. Well, up next on Studio 13 Live, if regular old influencing isn't enough for you, there is pizza influencing. That might be pretty good. How much money one company wants to pay people online.
I wonder if you get paid in pizza. We're about to find out. And don't forget, if you missed anything from today's show, you can find it all on our website. Head to fox13seattle.com/studio13live. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. A fire department in Arizona is working to get more women interested in a firefighting career. So young women between 12 and 18 participated in a camp with the department, and the goal was to spark interest in firefighting or other male-dominated careers. Within 3 days, 40 girls worked to gain confidence, leadership skills, and put out actual fires.
Oh, I love to see that. You know, I lived in Oklahoma City for a long time, and they did something very similar. And you know, I can't say for certain, but Oklahoma City has a high number of female firefighters, which I always thought was just so exciting to see.
Yeah, that's really cool. And also, so much of your interests come from exposure too. So just having the chance to try something, maybe you didn't know how much you liked it, and now you love it and want to follow that as your career.
Absolutely. So how about this for a career, Carly? Maybe one for me. You could earn more than 6 figures by being a pizza influencer, okay? So pizza delivery app Slice is looking to hire pizza influencers, and the company wants to increase its social media presence on TikTok and Instagram. And if you're picked, you'll get $25 in weekly pizza stipends, so for your pizza pleasure, I suppose. And then you could easily earn up to $110,000 a year. It sounds wild, but I have to say, at least from what I've observed on TikTok, currently influencers, they often are not paid, or they want to pay them in stuff. So to see that there's a salary, that's nice.
Oh, yeah. I've been a pizza influencer before.
Wait, like a real one?
Yeah, yeah, and it was a good check too. But I will say, getting the pizza and everything that you needed to actually do the post, it was also really exciting. It reminded me. You need both. It reminded me of, like, you know, school, when you're like trying to fight to get that school pizza party day.
That's
right. You know,
right.
just like a little cherry on top.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, it was
That's
free
cute.
here. Yeah, a little pandemic's fun, but it was great. Just got to pose with some pizza and talk about it. That's great. All right, a facial analyst says that people are becoming less attractive. Excuse me? What? Excuse me? They better not be talking about our faces. In a viral post, the analyst says that it all comes down to how we're using our mouths. He claims things like modern diets, sleeping patterns, pollutants, and facial habits will impact our jaws, which in turn impacts the way that we look, often negatively. Some people claim that things like fashion, hairstyles, and photo quality are what keep people looking young. This must be like tech neck, right?
Yeah, I think
you know,
so.
Sometimes I'll be laying down with my phone and I'll be sitting there with my double chin. Oh my gosh, I need to not do this right now.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like, you know, I think maybe it's just we're seeing people differently because we're so used to looking at people on social media with filters, you know, and putting a different image of themselves, posing a certain way that maybe we expect people to look that way in real life.
I think that's probably more true.
I don't like this story. I don't think people are becoming less attractive.
I would argue that people are becoming more attractive. I think what you're saying is what it is. I think that we're also used to seeing a certain kind of filtered face, and that's just not true. But I mean, come on, like, what was it that the Golden Girls were really in their like 40s and 50s? That's young now, like chill.
Yeah, I feel like maybe previous generations also didn't use sunscreen as much, you know, maybe
no water,
smoked, didn't drink as much water, things like that. So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Forget a formal event. A couple in Chicago opted for a more relaxed look at their wedding reception. Take a look at this. After the ceremony, this couple changed into pajamas and coordinated t-shirts. How fun. The couple says that after being dressed up all day, they just wanted to be comfortable and enjoy the party. And their video on TikTok has more than 1 million views, with a lot of people supporting their decision.
Very cute.
It's your wedding. You know,
what you want.
You can celebrate however you want. I feel like if I paid a lot for the wedding dress and the hair and the makeup and everything, I'd probably want to kind of stay glammed up for that.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I kept it on the whole time.
Yeah.
Because it was pricey. So
right? That's what I'm talking about. But I mean, I think it's great when they put on like sneakers or comfy shoes. You don't want to just have to be in heels all night.
That's
you wanna
true.
Get down on that dance floor, honey.
Oh, I love it. All right, something else I love? Cats. okay? We've got the perfect festival for you if you're a cat lover, or even if you're a cat lover, but maybe you're allergic to cats. This is good for you. The Cat Video Festival is making its return this week. Thousands of people coming together in Minnesota tomorrow to watch cat videos specifically together, but not just about the cute videos, right? The event also raises money for the Caring for Cats group, which helps hundreds of cats find forever homes each year. Good Day Seattle actually had somebody with the Cat Video Festival here who was really like, hey, this thing changed the internet here.
Yeah,
And
there
I
need
agree.
to be more like cute animal film festivals. That's the best way ever.
It
Sometimes
is.
film festivals can get a little depressing, you know.
They can.
Like I was going to a documentary film festival every year for a while.
Ooh,
and it just got
heavy.
real depressing. I want to get together with people and watch cute animal videos. It sounds like a good time. All right, next story. Are you ever too old for a sleepover with your friends? A 49-year-old woman, she's getting a lot of attention online after sharing that her boyfriend has sleepovers with his friends about twice a month. She says they play video games and drink together, adding that it seems like harmless fun. But the question is, should adults be having sleepovers? Where do you
Yes.
stand?
Yes. Are you kidding me? It
Yeah.
sounds super fun.
Super
a hang.
fun.
I would call it a hang.
An all-night hang?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like some of my best memories ever from when I was a teenager was having sleepovers. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it actually happened this way, but in my mind, it happened every single night during summer. My best friend and I would switch off between our houses at least multiple nights a week. We were so into it. I don't do it very often as an adult, though, because now
Right.
I have to have my blue light glasses and my sleep mask and my earplugs and on my
Yeah.
comfy, like, flat pillow.
I
that
wear a night
that I like to
guard. You
sleep.
don't want to see that.
So true, so true. But, you know, sleepovers are a good
think
time.
it's fine, yeah.
Let's bring them back. No judgment there. Before we let you go, we want to remind you we have a very special show coming this Friday. It's our Seafair show.
Look at how cute we all look, the whole gang together. I love to see it. So we are taking Studio 13 live to Lake Washington. Brian McMillan, Jody Brothers coming along.
Yeah, King Neptune himself. I don't know if you've heard. Bender Cunningham's going to be joining us for an hour of fun.
Oh my gosh, we're going to be checking out some classic cars, hanging out with pirates, and they'd actually visited the show
Yeah, they
before
have.
as well. We're interviewing some hydroplane drivers too. Such a fun time.
I gotta know how they're not scared going over 200 miles an hour.
That's
I was watching videos of them the other day. They're
wild.
pretty amazing. So, really fun show coming up. We'll see you tomorrow and Friday for Seafair.
Have a great one.